What's going on, everyone? I'm meteorologist Tyler Sherrod, and welcome to your Wednesday edition of FSU Weather. We had pretty rainy skies for most of the day, but things finally started to clear up about an hour or two ago. So currently sitting at 76 degrees with some cloudy skies there. Still a little bit windy, seeing winds coming out of the southeast at 11 miles per hour. Current temperatures in the region show that things have been kept a little bit cooler by all that rainfall here in the Big Bend region. 77 for Tallahassee, 76 degrees for St. Mark's there by the coastline. And that Tallahassee radar showing the rain has cleared out for us. But for the rest of the show, the rainy weather does continue region-wide, flash flooding concerns as well. And we're going to talk about weekend and next week's severe weather threat here tonight. Hello, everyone. Once again, I am meteorologist Tyler Sherrod.
And I'm student meteorologist Melissa Geiger. And it's been a really rainy start to our day today.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, the past 48 hours have been almost nonstop rainfall. But luckily, over the past hour or two, we finally start to see those skies clear here in Tallahassee.
Finally. Of course, not when we're walking to class. It had to be flooding and raining while we're all trying to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily, for once, I actually found a parking spot close to the meteorology building here. So I was able to avoid most of the rainfall. But I know most people are not very lucky, and they had to just go home right after class to change out of their clothes into fresh new clothes just because everyone got soaked by all the rain.
That's what my roommate had to do. I dropped her off to get to class, but she had to walk back.
Yeah, so hopefully we don't have to deal with that in Tallahassee as bad as it was today for the rest of the week. Hopefully we can see a little bit more sunshine here.
And hopefully this weekend will actually clear up and we can have a nice weekend for once in Florida.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get tired of the summer weather here in Tallahassee. We had a couple of days a few weeks ago where things cooled down a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to maybe seeing some cold temperatures come in, maybe middle of October, late October here in Tallahassee.
Absolutely. We had that cold front that came through but didn't really get us any colder, so hopefully we can have one here pretty soon.
Yep. I mean, we are in Florida, so that's just what you have to expect here. But eventually we will start to see some version of fall here in North Florida.
Yeah, sooner or later it'll make its way here, but you know Florida, it always takes forever to get here. We're always wishing that it would come sooner.
Yeah, and I'm from Central Florida, so I'm used to this kind of weather. Even moving up to North Florida, it almost feels like a completely different climate here, even though it is pretty warm year-round. But that's all we have for the desk. We're going to send things out to Hayden on the wall to talk a little bit more about Tallahassee weather.
Those fall wishers, it's not really coming. It looks like it's going to be pretty hot still. Right now, actually not too bad. We had some sun peeking out, that rain earlier. Definitely a big story of the day, but 76, mostly cloudy. Right now, some rain drifting off, some moderate to heavy rain from Live Oak to Lake City across this afternoon. And for our area, we're actually in a little dry spot, although there are some more showers between Panama City and Blountstown, which is a sign of a more ripe atmosphere to come tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. We do expect more thunderstorms. Today's Almanac highs, actually quite cool, 79 due to the rain, but do know we also were pretty warm due to those cloud cover. We didn't really radially cool off, and our average was 85, so a little bit below average with the rain, so we'll take any below average conditions that we can get, although we truly prefer a cold front with low humidity and low temperatures. 70s pervasive throughout the board, and Apalachicola a little bit warmer with the flow off the water and the shoreline, and dew points as well, very, very muggy, 75 Apalachicola, 73 Sumatra, and 71 in Monticello. Very juicy atmosphere for sure. Great adjective to describe what we are going through. So ways that cloud cover is going to clear off, and notice we do clear off until the morning time. Book around 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be traversing across our area, bringing some rainfall. And then once again, similar to today, a very similar pattern. By 6 o'clock, everything looks to shift over by the I-75 corridor, and some hit or miss showers scattered across our area, but we should be pretty dry after 3 p.m. tomorrow. Rainfall forecast, do know we do expect about inch and a half into our southwest areas. Tallahassee, this might be underdoing it a little bit. We probably can expect up to an inch as reasonable, and of course maybe higher totals too, of course, for east. And it's going to be scattered in here and there, but overall the threat is our flash flood watch does end tonight, but you can still expect some heavy rain tomorrow too. Definitely count on that. By the coastline, maybe some showers, more opportunity to develop overnight, And across the inland areas, definitely more clear, so that's good. And then for tomorrow's forecast, thunderstorms scattered to possibly heavy across the mid-afternoon through early morning hours, and then by evening, looks like our eastern county areas will have the biggest threat. So that's your timeline anyways. Tonight, 70 degrees, mostly cloudy conditions. And then by tomorrow, thunderstorms 83. Like I said, some could be very heavy. And the week ahead, it's going to look very nice. Look at Saturday and Sunday, 80s coming through the weekend, just like Melissa wanted.
That's right. I love those warmer temperatures. Being a native Florida person, gotta love our summers, not so much the cold. But we're still looking at our plentiful rainfall, not really the sunshine state we're used to right now. You see that rain continuing to move through the Big Bend region and continuing further up the southeast as well. Take a closer look at Tallahassee. You see the storms that have moved through earlier today that we talked about earlier, continuing to move through, and we're going to continue to see those storms within the next 2 days, hopefully clearing out this weekend to give us some nice weather that you can go out and enjoy for your non-school week. And for Panama City Beach, currently 79 degrees and mostly cloudy, also seeing those showers coming through as well. And looking at the radar for the Big Bend, again, see those storms continuing through the Big Bend have kind of shifted south from what we saw earlier today when we were getting most of the rainfall here in Tallahassee. Over towards Jacksonville, still also getting some rain. Looks like most of it will be coming in later tonight, so something to look out for if you're over in that area. Not the best day to be going out on the town, so just be aware of that. And temperatures are warm as well, 77 degrees, but still a bit cooler than we'd normally see due to that rainfall and cloud cover that's persisted over the today. For South Florida, still more rainfall. Moving through up to Fort Myers, Miami, actually pretty clear right now, so you may have a nice night to go out on the town tonight. Currently 85 degrees and partly cloudy, so it is a bit warmer down south as we'd expect for this time of year. Our current temperatures, looking at 82 in Pensacola, 76 in Tallahassee, 90 in Tampa, and a bit cooler down in Key West at 86. So once again, warmer temperatures being seen up here in Tallahassee due to that cloud cover and rainfall. They've kept us a little bit cooler than surrounding areas. Our dew points aren't helping out very much. 70 in Tampa, 77 in Key West, Tallahassee a bit lower at 69 right now. And tonight in Florida, 77 in Tampa, 75 in Fort Myers, and 81 in Key West. So once again, seeing those warm temperatures, not getting into that winter pattern we want to see for this time of year. For tomorrow, 86 in Tampa, 88 in Fort Myers, and 87 in Key West. So warming back up once again. We see rainfall throughout much of the area. So definitely keep an eye out for those storms coming through. Going to make sure that you're not going to get stuck in the middle of the storm if you are heading out on the town. Just something to look out for as you're looking ahead, because those storms are going to continue over the next 3 days, hopefully clearing up this weekend to give us some nice conditions. But now we're going to take a zoom out and look at the rest of the country.
Thanks, Melissa. Take a look at our national forecast here. Southeast, pretty warm overall. Tallahassee actually cooler than a lot of the other places in this region because of that rainfall we've seen today. San Antonio at 89 and Dallas at 85, so still seeing those warm temperatures even in October for the southern regions of our country. As we start to move to the west and especially the northwest, things are cooling down. Salt Lake City, 68 degrees right now, and then in Seattle is at 55 degrees. That's going to be our low spot. And then looking at the dew points for the region, southeast as you would expect is fairly muggy overall, and then southern regions of the country like Texas, New Mexico, those dew points are pretty low overall, much drier conditions over there. And let's take a look at the national radar. Low pressure right here and a front connected to it, bringing lots of rainfall and potentially dangerous conditions for the southeast, specifically northern Alabama and getting into Tennessee. A lot of that rain we saw in Tallahassee is moving off to the east now. This low pressure system to our south helped pump some moisture into the region, which fueled a lot of that rainfall. And then in the center of the country, we have a high pressure system bringing a lot drier weather for places like Kansas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, which also helps explain those drier dew points. And then a little bit more moisture here in the northwest with a frontal boundary over there. And as you look at the upper level water vapor, this just helps you identify where some more of that severe weather could be. The colder the cloud tops are, the more blue and orange colors you'll see. And you're really seeing that with that rain right here in the eastern part of the country in Georgia, as well as parts of Alabama and Tennessee. That's where you're seeing the main moisture. Let's go to the northwest and take a look at some of the weather going on there. In Seattle, of course, rainy as you would expect in Seattle, Washington. Just nothing too severe though, just some light rain draped across the western portion of Washington, as well as Portland. And then moving into our east, parts of western Idaho, seeing some rainfall and some heavy cloud cover. Moving a little bit further to the southeast, getting into more of the mountainous states in the west, still seeing some rain in eastern Idaho, around Idaho Falls area, and western Wyoming, and just seeing lots of cloud cover draped over the region. Once again, all this rain is not severe. All of the severe weather is over here further to our east. Looking into Kentucky and Tennessee, seeing some stronger storm cells there, and seeing this yellow color and the green color, seeing tornado watches and flash flood watches in those regions. So if you happen to be in this part of the country, definitely want to stay tuned to your local weather. Let's move a little bit even further down to the southeast, seeing some more rainfall, especially in eastern Georgia and western South Carolina, and then all of that rain in Tallahassee, moving into the east, into Jacksonville right now, and also seeing some pretty strong storms here in northern Alabama. And then going to the Texas radar, you're not really going to see much at all here. Pretty nice day for all of Texas. Fairly warm temperatures, pretty low dew points, makes for a pretty comfortable day for Texas. And then watches and warnings for the country, fire weather advisory here in the pink, and then all of your severe weather advisories here in the southeast. Our storm outlook showing where possible severe storms could be. Zooming into the southeast, we have a slight risk here in the yellow. That means you have about a 2 out of 5 chance of seeing a severe thunderstorm. So definitely want to be on the lookout if you're in the southeast right now. Let's get into tonight's temperatures. Tallahassee, going to keep things fairly warm for the nighttime temperatures, 71 degrees for that low temperature. Moving out to the west, things are going to cool a lot more during the nighttime. Salt Lake City at 54, Seattle at 44 degrees for that low temperature. And then tomorrow, Tallahassee, expect some of that rain to stick around with a high temperature of 84. Washington, D.C., high of 76, and Boston, a high of 74 degrees. Pretty sunny skies there. Going to be a great day in Boston. Now, we're going to pass things off to Hayden at the desk.
Yeah, so you know what they say about the South? When it rains, it pours, and that is definitely something true that we have noticed here. If I could see the clicker, I'd be happy to move through the graphics. Some rainfall coming into our area. Thank you, guys. So, let's look at that rainfall accumulation around north of Atlanta, a beautiful area in those mountains. We have some very heavy rainfall possible. It looks like anywhere in that yellow range could be 5 to 7 inches of rain. Keep in mind, too, it's some mountainous terrain, so you got to watch out for water coming down those roads. And then also looks like there's another little epicenter west of Atlanta, another possible area, maybe even seeing 7 to 10 inches. It's probably a little overdone, but definitely some heavy rainfall. And this is through Thursday, 6 p.m. Rainfall forecast. This might be accumulated. But anyways, bottom line, if you're around Atlanta, when it rains, it pours. Don't drown, turn around. All those tropes apply. For us in Tallahassee and further west into Panama City, the Redneck Riviera, as they call it, some heavy rainfall too. Looks like 1.5 to 2.5 inches, especially around Panama City, Bullseye, and then another area near the coastline around Apalachicola and St. George Island looks to be another epicenter of possible rainfall. And their outlooks looks to be about another inch to 1.5 inches. Tallahassee looks like through Thursday, tomorrow, looks like it might be 1/2 inch of rain, but nevertheless, it's gonna be a rainy day for us for sure. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But bring your umbrellas. The morning definitely looks to be the peak time for everything. And now we're gonna show you a wonderful video our producer made, and we'll learn about rain. Wow, you can see that wind whipping. Those kids do not look like they're having fun. But, I mean, I guess that's the price of going to class, being a good student. Sometimes it's going to get a little messy. It's going to get a little rainy. But anyways, like I said, it's going to be much drier through the weekend and through next week, and we hope to keep it that way. Now we're going to pass over to our wall segment with Melissa.
Thanks, Hayden. We'll take another look at our local forecast. As Hayden said, it's been a really rainy day, and you saw in that video that wind and rain whipping around Tallahassee. Currently 76 degrees and mostly cloudy, so thankfully that rain has managed to clear up today. Looking to be a decent evening for us if we can manage to avoid those showers that may make their way through later today. 79 degrees was our high today, and much lower than our average of 85 and way below our record of 94 degrees. And our low was sitting at 72, so actually a little bit above average for this time of year. We all really want to get back to that average for our fall time temperatures. For our hour by hour today, you can see those temperatures gradually increased up to 5 p.m. today at 77 degrees, but stayed pretty constant throughout most of the day due to that cloud cover and rainfall, preventing the land from heating up a whole lot. For our Tallahassee radar, you can see that rain that came through earlier today and is continuing to move through the Big Bend. And currently, Tallahassee does have a flash flood watch in effect, so make sure you're being aware. If you are in a flood-prone area, make sure you're not going through any floodwaters. Turn around, don't drown. It's not safe to be going through any floodwaters because you can't tell how deep it actually is. For our regional radar, again, you can see that rain continuing to move up, reaching all the way up into the Georgia and the Carolinas as well. So really rainy day for pretty much the entire southeast. Our future radar, storms are going to continue to come through over the next 2 days, and that cloud cover is going to persist into Thursday with scattered storms coming through, but hopefully this weekend will manage to clear up a bit. For our local temperatures, currently 77 in Tallahassee, 76 in Crawfordville, and 79 in Apalachicola. So warm temperatures, but a little bit cooler than we've seen the past week where we had those highs in the 80s. For tonight, 71 in Tallahassee, 73 in St. Mark's, and 76 in Carabel. So seeing those consistent temperatures due to that cloud cover, preventing it from cooling off very much. Tonight in Tallahassee, 70 degrees and partly cloudy. Hopefully we'll manage to avoid those showers if you're planning on going out tonight. But just make sure you're keeping it on the radar and may want to bring a rain jacket or an umbrella just in case. For tomorrow's forecast, 84 in Tallahassee, 82 in St. Mark's. And for your dog walk forecast, 73 at 9 a.m., 81 and 82, so you may want to head out early to walk your dog. And as for the week ahead, looking at continuing storms and showers tomorrow and Friday, hopefully looking at a sunny week next week. Now we're going to take a look at the tropics with Hayden.
Yes, hurricane season is still very much a part of us. And it goes actually through the end of November. We've even seen storms in December, but our peak time, what we're going to worry about in Florida, here is October for sure. And sure enough, we do have a spot to look at in the Atlantic right now. This is not an invest area. The low pressure is somewhere around here in this convection. There's a naked swirl. I want to concentrate that heat into a little ball and get some vorticity going, but it's really going to struggle. And the National Hurricane Center notes it's unfavorable conditions right now. And actually, the development range has it developing, if anything, up here by the Outer Banks, but only a 20% chance. The water temperatures are sufficiently warm, but there's a lot of shear associated with the front, and there's some drier air around. And looking at the water vapor, we'll take a look. Actually, it looks like there is some decent moisture in the upper levels, but this strong westerly flow across is really separating the shear. And our deeper convection is way out to the east, and I believe our center of low is more towards this area, migrating out to the north. So definitely some unfavorable conditions for it, but never say never in the tropics. We'll keep an eye on it. In the Outer Banks, it might turn into a low regardless of development or not. So something to look out there for marine interest. Like I said, climatologically, our season lasts from November 31st. And the reason why, because we have warm sea surface temperatures and high heat content in the Caribbean and some parts of the deep tropical Atlantic, although we really start to migrate into the Western Caribbean as our focus. And that's why Florida actually can be a prime zone for development, because troughs like to dig in northeast from our area. So keep a lookout. October, sea surface temperatures, looks like right now, Gulf temperatures so well into the mid-80s across from Tampa, all the way across to Brownsville, Texas. And then in our region, we're on the cusp of the low 80s, which is supportable for tropical cyclone development. So this graphic just points out there is a potential, if atmospheric conditions line up, thermodynamically, a system is favorable to develop. And actually, so some examples of hurricanes that have come in October, we've had Hurricane Wilma in 2005. We had Hurricane Matthew, which threatened Rockledge and northeast Florida. We've had Hurricane Michael, of course, which came through Panama City. And we've had Hurricane Nate that's come in October as well. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Hayden. So we definitely have a lot to look out for in the tropics still. That season is not over yet. Definitely need to stay aware, especially since the southeast has had so much rainfall lately, which we'll talk about in just a second. Over in Gainesville, you can see that cloud cover is persisting over much of the southeast right now from that system that has been sitting over us, that front that is sitting there. Our current temperatures, 76 in Tallahassee, 90 in Tampa, and 85 in Miami. So seeing those warm temperatures still, really not cooling off anywhere in the southeast that we would hope to see for this time of year. Dew points also not helping us out. And national radar, you see that storm continue to move up with severe thunderstorm warnings and even some tornado warnings up in Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia to look out for. Taking a closer look at that area, there are tornado warnings going on right now, so you need to be aware. Make sure you're staying tuned to your local station, and just be on the lookout. Keep you and your family safe. For our SPC storm outlook, slight risk for Alabama and Tennessee, and a bit of Georgia as well, so it's something to look out for. Once again, those warnings, there are tornado warnings, flash flood warnings, and severe thunderstorm warnings to look out for, so make sure you're staying up to date with everything. Our national radar shows that rain continuing to move through and isn't looking like it's going to clear up anytime soon. And that rainfall, look at that. Looking at 7 to 10 inches of rain in some areas, definitely not something to mess around with. And the rain continues moving east, seeing those temperatures continue to stay warm, unlike we would like to see for this time of year. Now we're going to pass things off to Tyler to take a look at our lifestyle forecast.
Thanks. One last look at the southeast for what temperatures will look like tomorrow, but now we're going to head into our lifestyle forecast here in Tallahassee. So looking at over the Sportsplex, have some cloudy skies here in Tallahassee, but looking pretty good now compared to earlier. Panama City, even more cloudy, as well as St. George Island. Really seeing a lot of cloud is draped over northern Florida and northwest Florida. And then Lake Bradford as well, looking very similar. FSU weather stem showing a look at Doak Campbell Stadium. Seeing a little break in the cloud coverage here so we can see the sun as it starts to near the sunset. And of course in Tallahassee, no airport delays as we have sunny skies now in the region. And then looking across the country, no delays in sight as well, as we just have mostly clear skies, maybe some clouds, but that's not going to stop those planes from taking off. Dog walk forecast for tomorrow, 7 a.m. looking like we're going to see some rain at 71 degrees. We might have a break in between 7 and 11 a.m. where you can walk your dog. But temperatures won't get too hot, so it'll be pretty comfortable as long as it's not raining. For your Leach forecast, on the walk over Wednesday and Thursday, could be raining as well as Friday, and temperatures going to be in the lower 80s on Friday and upper 80s on Wednesday and Thursday. Football against UNC, this is at UNC, so in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. 72 degrees is that forecasted temperature for kickoff, and might see some rain in the sky as well, but going to still see some sunshine intermediately in between the rain. So here's the school week planner for the rest of the week here in Tallahassee and into the weekend. Expect rain on Thursday and Friday with an 80% chance and a 70% chance. We're going to start to see some sunshine headed into the weekend. Saturday, high of 85, and once again on Sunday, a high of 85 degrees. Now we're going to pass things off to Hayden to give us one last local look.
All right, let's get that final outlook in. Got to bring some energy to close the show, of course. Once again, live look at Doak. Absolutely beautiful. Note that sunset is coming closer to the end of the show as we end daylight savings time. Something to look forward to if you like the darkness. 76, mostly cloudy, southeast at 11 miles an hour. Tallahassee right now, we're in a little of a break between the rain. Looks like Bluntstown, Panama City, some dying showers. No heavy rain anticipated for our area. And of course, Lake City and Live Oak, some rain coming into the region. Temperature Almanac, kind of nice today due to the cloud cover. Didn't get too warm. 85 is the average, 79 was the high. But it is also noteworthy that it was pretty humid today, so it wasn't a complete win for us. Current temperatures, mid-70s dominating the entire region. So pretty cool out if you want to go walk across Lake Ella. It's a good time to do so. Dew points right now in the 70s. Tallahassee is 69, a little bit lower, but still pretty moist for this time of year that we'd expect. Future radar, any showers in the west are going to end off, and then in the morning they're going to build across into a region. And note, they will be forming by 5 to 6 o'clock to the east of us. And there was a little bit of a drier lull in Tallahassee, so maybe portions west of us might be a little more rainfall, but we will still be dodging those showers. You don't want to bring the umbrella because rain will be intermittent and sporadic throughout the area. Looks like a model will kind of change throughout the show, so that's kind of interesting to note too. Anyways, rainfall forecast up to half an inch expected, maybe inch and a half around Panama City tonight. 70s dominating, maybe some showers developing late in our southwest regions. Definitely something to keep an eye out if you work early in the morning on your commute. And tomorrow's forecast, mid-80s dominating across the region with pop-up afternoon rain thunderstorms. Tonight in Tallahassee, 70 degrees, mostly partly cloudy, calm. Tomorrow, also seeing some thunderstorms, 83 in the week ahead. Look at that, Saturday and Sunday really clearing out ahead of time, but staying into the mid-80s and mid-60s at night. Definitely not what you want to see in October, but we'll take it. And now we're going to head over to our closing desk with Tyler and Melissa.
So it looks like we're going to have to deal with the rain for Thursday and Friday, but things are going to start to clear up after that.
A couple more days, we might have a clear week of weather where we can actually go outside and enjoy the nice weather in Florida.
And I mean, it's good timing at least. The weekend going to start to be sunnier, and then as we go into next week, those rain chances only about 10 to 20% chance. So things are going to look a lot better. It might be a little bit hotter when we walk to class, but I'll take that over getting soaked by thunderstorms.
Absolutely. You won't have to dry off when you get home or change your clothes. You can actually walk and have a nice day.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like those temperatures on the 7-day forecast are going to change all that much throughout the week. So not really going to see much of a cooling relief here in Tallahassee just yet, but hopefully that is soon on the horizon as we approach Halloween.
Hopefully. We do have some cold fronts that are trying to make their way further across the country, so hopefully one of those can get to us pretty soon.
I could really use some of the weather that we saw in the Northwest during the national forecast. Maybe not the rain we're seeing in Seattle, but seeing temperatures in the 50s and 60s for the highs seems just absolutely great right now.
Absolutely. A lot of people are really looking forward to those cooler temperatures for they can start going out and enjoying the fall season, especially with Halloween coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, at least in Florida, we can try to make the best of the warm temperatures. A great time to go out on the water, like Hayden said, maybe Lake Ella if you're here in Tallahassee, or Lake Jackson, or just hit the pool while you still have the warm temperatures.
Absolutely. Make a weekend trip down to Panama City Beach. Have a great weekend while the temperatures are still warm before it gets too cold to go swimming.
Yeah, really have only about a month to hit the beach and still be able to get into the water comfortably. So that's a great idea. Panama City Beach or St. George Island, two great places to hit up here in the Big Bend region.
Definitely. We're looking at hopefully some cooler temperatures coming soon, but for right now, follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather. We'd love to hear from you guys about the show.
You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather, where we'll sometimes post updates.
And watch us live on YouTube if you're not right now already at FSU Weather as well.
And then you can also follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather, where we sometimes post updates and weather pictures.
All right. This is going to be our one last look at the weekend ahead, Thursday, Friday. Seeing some thunderstorms in mid-80s, 70s, very warm and humid. And then Saturday, Sunday, sunnier conditions coming in and persisting through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Seeing highs in the 80s, lows in the upper 60s, staying quite warm, but very manageable. And that will be your forecast for Tallahassee, Florida.